Happy holidays, y'all. Of course, you can tell by this video what this is all about. So, I'm not going to waste your time, but let's go ahead to the intro and get straight into it. We are in the middle of the holidays, and I thought it was very important to come on and at least give you some tips and tricks, or at least some ways to get through the holidays. Would be a little bit less stressful, and especially if you're dealing with grief as well. So I have 3 topics, very simple topics, that I believe that can leave you stress-free, or at least relieve some tension, and also how to deal with grief during the times. For me personally, I deal with grief because this is actually the month of December. I lost my dad in 2018, so it gets very overwhelming for me, and I will say initially I was trying to keep busy and I really wasn't dealing with it, but now I have learned some easy ways to at least get through the holidays and try to be stress-free, including shopping. So those 3 topics is planning, organizing, and me time. Of course, y'all know I have to put in some me time because I'm all about self-love, self-care, and all of that. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. The first step is planning, y'all. This is probably the most important part of it. And I'm gonna tell you what I do, so maybe you can incorporate with you what you do, your lifestyle, and you can kind of go from there. But I promise you, it's number 1 for a reason. Planning's number 1. So what I typically do is start planning in October. I'm not writing anything down. I'm literally brainstorming. So I do ask my family, hey, what you want for Christmas? What you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And for my daughter, I usually give her the Walmart or the Target, booklet that comes in. Like, I think that comes in like around the beginning of November, the end of December, right when Halloween ends. We usually get it, and I love doing that because it kind of reminds me back in the day when, the J.C. Penney catalog, you get the big thick one and you circle everything you want. If you know, you know. So I do planning, and one of the things that a lot of people do not plan for, that you really should plan for, is the money, the budget, because money is a stressful topic year round anyway, but around the holidays it is really, really stressful. Boom. The reason why I ask my family what they want is so I can get an idea of how this Christmas, what they think Christmas is going to look like. My husband pretty much has a good idea. Of course, we share finances. My daughter, of course, not so much. Of course, Santa brings her gifts. But as parents, I want to make sure that we give her gifts as well. You know what I'm talking about. So, for me in particular, I shop for 4 core people each year. It kind of fluctuates. Sometimes we have family members that come in that say, hey, I'm coming, or we have some that don't come, that came last year. So I always shop or make sure I have the 4 core people, which is my daughter, my husband, my mom, and my mother-in-law. Both my husband and I's fathers have passed. So we just trying to make it as special as possible. And of course, Christmas is about the kids. So for planning, I usually ask, and I usually in my head have a budget, right? So because my little girl's getting bigger, you know, I'm saying, okay, we go get some big girl toys. So I make sure I budget for that reason. Maybe I'll make a list and say, hey, she's interested in this. Let's see what that falls under. Because, you know, children interests change every year. And then my husband, same thing. Mom, mother-in-law, all the same. I don't like to repeat a lot of things. Of course, my husband, he always says easy thing for him is socks and underwear. And I'm sick and tired of buying socks, y'all. Sick and tired. So I always do something really nice. But for planning, make sure that you have a set budget. Now with the budget, I particularly like to say, if I'm shopping for my husband, let's say, okay, I have a list. Let me give myself a cushion of like $50 extra. Not to say I'm going to spend it. Just say, oh, well, I plan to spend $200. You know what? Let me say $250. You know, you may see something that's a little bit more, a little bit less, and you know, we still fit in that cushion. I do the same thing for my mother, my mother-in-law, and my daughter. All the same. So, but for my child, I'll probably give a little bit more, maybe like $100 to get a little cushion, because things are expensive. Okay? Things are expensive. So, with that the planning is always about the expectation, your actual list, and then your budget. And with that is time. And everything costs time. Let's just be honest about it. Everything costs time. But for me, I would say I'm a research shopper. So I don't buy the very first thing I see. I look for the deals. I love a good deal. And because Black Friday is not exactly the same as it used to be years prior, where you say, hey girl, you go come shopping with me? Yes, and you make a plan. Your friend go to Walmart, your other friend go to Target, and your other friend goes to some other store, and you say, well, let's get all of this, and then we'll meet back up, and you know, got a plan. Now you do a lot of stuff that's online. And then of course you have Black Friday sales and right after it's Cyber Monday sales. Me particularly this year, I bought a lot of things on Cyber Monday, a lot, but I definitely got some good deals. And that's because I had a plan. Now the most important thing about planning is to stick to your plan, y'all. Stick to it. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's been years that I definitely did not stick to a plan. But when I do, I usually finish all my shopping by the second week of December. Because I actually know what I'm getting, I know who I'm getting it for, and then I know the budget that I want to spend, and at that point I'm just waiting for everything to come in once I order it. And yes, I do a lot of ordering. There's some people that definitely still go out and shop on Black Friday. That's just not me. Again, incorporate whatever that fits your lifestyle. Sorry, you guys. So I will, and that's going to merge into our next topic. The second step to having a stress-free holiday, or at least less stress, is definitely organizing. So of course, if you have your plan, that's one part of organizing. You already know what you have in mind. And again, I'm a research shopper, so I'm definitely not picking the very first deal I see. I'm taking a lot of time to find the best deals, which is definitely what I did over the Thanksgiving break. Most definitely. But with that, it helps you stay organized. Now, with organization, we're not just talking about the shopping, the ordering, and things like that. We also talk about decorations, because decorations can take a lot of time, especially if you're not organized. For me, I have a container set up, or a few containers to be quite honest, some storage containers that are set up for different holidays. I have a Christmas one, I have a Thanksgiving one, I have a Halloween one, a simple fall one, I have a summer one, I even have a Mardi Gras one, because you know I'm from Louisiana and that's what we do. So but what's easy about it is that, hey, I'm moving from one holiday to the next, and to just simply put everything in that one box, put that box up, pull out another box, then I can simply just go from one box to another. So that is definitely what we're doing. I have not yet decorated. That is on the agenda, but it is easy peasy. Now I will say this did not happen. I did not do this immediately. I definitely worked this over years after building my decoration game up just a little bit. But again, it does make it easier, and it's not just for the holidays. It's just overall. A little small changes can go a long way for anyone, right? So as I'm getting rid of my fall decorations, all my fall decorations go in that one box. I put it in the shed, and then I take everything out that says Christmas on it. Christmas tree, Christmas lights. I even go down and say this is outdoor decoration, this is indoor decoration, this is for the lights for the Christmas tree. I even say these are decorations that I put like on my bookshelf. Everything is divvied out, and it seems like a lot. I promise you, it seems like a lot, but you could definitely combine things together to make it fit for your family. It does not have to be exactly how I have it, but definitely the organization is very helpful. And the reason why I get the organization, the reason why I like the organization is because it makes it less tiring to do those type of tasks. And again, I like to finish decorating before the 2 weeks are up. I like to do everything, Christmas shopping and all of that, by the second week in December. And the reason why I like to do that is because I organize the Christmas Eve. For Christmas Eve, we do stockings. We open up our stockings, and we play with the little games. We do cookie decorations, and we just play like some fun games, and the family members get to win a prize. So when I'm done with one step, I'm going on this to the next step. So you can kind of see how the planning and the organization goes hand in hand, and that really makes it easy and simple, especially if you keep the decorations from the year before, not throw anything out, spend the $8 to $10 and go get you a storage container after Christmas. Okay, you will thank me later. And now we're on step number 3 to keep your holidays less stressful, and how to deal with grief. Again, at the beginning of the video, I definitely stated how I deal with grief. And I did state what is very hard for me in the month of December. I was a real big daddy's girl, so initially I didn't grieve correctly. I was doing things to keep me busy, and then COVID happened, and boom, I had to deal with that stuff because I wasn't moving around as much as I was. So to make sure I keep coping correctly and making sure I have a wonderful holiday for my daughter, I definitely do me time. Me time can be, of course, any shape or form that you vision for yourself. Me time could be just sitting in the car, right? I mean, we hear this all the time, sitting in the car before, de-stressing before you actually go into the house. And yes, that works. If you need an extra 10 to 15 minutes, do that. But one of the things that I do that really helps me, but I still keep going, this is nowhere, this is not a sponsored video. This is definitely just what I do. I definitely spend my own money at this, and I do him and hers drops. They're all the Calm Drops Mind Unwind Calm Drops. And they come in a little bottle like this, and it's definitely just drops. You can put it on your tongue, or you can put it in your drink. My husband and I both use this, and not just for the holidays, just when you're adulting. Let's just be real. When you're just adulting. So I definitely recommend these. I actually got this bottle from Walgreens for like $13. Not bad at all. And they definitely do work, and it's very natural to the body versus some other options. During holidays, because we have the parties, we have the scheduling, we have the kids parties, events are happening back to back to back to back to back. So I totally recommend at least take 4 hours every 2 weeks, every once a month, however it is. Take 4 hours to yourself. No phone, because that can cause anxiety too. That's not actually relaxing time and trying to be at peace. That's you still doing something, right? So take 4 hours. You can go get a massage. You can go for a run. You just make sure whatever you do in those 4 hours, you are totally in tune with yourself, and that you are able to actually you can actually relieve some type of stress that you're having. Even if this is the time where you say, okay, I really miss my dad, I really miss my mom. Not to say that you're scheduling your stress relief or your grieving time, but because we're all adulting, we all have things on our plate. There's sometimes where you be like, yeah, let me just take the time out, let me just remember them. And I think that's very important, especially during the holidays, especially if you lost someone during the holidays. For the main thing to take away from all of this is to keep it simple. Keep your planning simple. Keep your organization simple. Keeping your me time simple. Everything can be so simple, and it's honestly the simple little things do matter. Those little small little nuggets become into those small little key things. Definitely can have a bigger effect overall. And again, just asking your family what they want for Christmas, that's a key thing. That's something very small that's key. Going by a storage container, very small thing, but can be key. Sit in the car for an extra 10 minutes, or sit in your car, period. It's a very small thing, but so key. Remember these things and stick to what you plan. Stick to your organization, and definitely stick to me time, okay? Definitely stick to that. So let's go ahead and recap all the things that we can try to do to remain stress free, and how to deal with grief a little bit better, at least to where you're not breaking down, right? So very first thing, planning. Make sure you have a plan, you stick to your plan, and after asking your family members what they want, definitely write it down, and the budget, okay? Now definitely take the time to go out there and shop to get the best deals, but of course, definitely plan. Next thing, organize. Think about what you want your Christmas tree to look like. Think about if you already have decorations, how you go organize them later. It is very important to stay organized, especially with your list that you already have a plan for with your budget. And number 3, me time. Of course, self-care, self-love is definitely a thing that you need to make sure that you are doing for yourself in the holiday season, and not just for everyone else, okay? So I hope these 3 tips will help you. I hope you incorporate some of the things that I do that can make it easier for you all, and we can definitely have a stress-free holiday and have some me time to actually grieve and take some steps into being a more healthier person. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I really hope these 3 little simple tips can make your holiday stress-free. Happy holidays.